What we want is a machine that can learn from experience. Mathematician and pioneering computer scientist Alan Turing, 1947. We are at the start of a revolution that is already beginning to shake our world. An artificial intelligence revolution. AI is the most powerful tool that humans have yet created, and we are just beginning to learn how potent it could become. It has the power to increase our own incredible human intelligence, helping us to solve complex problems that were previously impossible. But AI also brings with it many new challenges. Profound changes lie ahead. Over the course of my life, during a career spent working at the forefront of technology, I have been directly involved in developing the underlying technology that makes AI work, and I have an understanding of how this story will play out. I want to help you learn how AI thinks. It all started when I was around 8 years old, and my father brought home part of an old computer, thinking that I might find it interesting. As a talented electronics engineer who had worked on developing some of the early computers during the 1950s, he was able to show me how the buttons on this old switchboard were used to program these early machines. I was fascinated to learn that computers can't directly understand letters or words. Deep inside their electronic circuits, they communicate using numbers, but the numbers that they use are strange. They don't use the decimal system we are all familiar with. Instead, they use a peculiar type called binary. I started to realize that computers are very different from humans. How computers work, and whether it might ever become possible to build one that could be called intelligent, has fascinated me ever since. We tend to think of computers as complex calculators, doing exactly what they are told, step by step, in a program. But now these powerful machines are learning from information. As you sit down to listen to this book, you are being bombarded by a huge amount of information coming at you from every direction. You will be wondering whether the chair you picked is comfortable and deciding if the cup of tea you just made has a bit too much milk in it. You are perhaps being distracted by the view out of your window or by the background noise that's trying to grab your attention. Your brain is probably still buzzing from the conversation that you just finished, and you may also be trying to remember that event coming up next week. Most likely, there will also be that nagging feeling that you have forgotten to do something and that you shouldn't just be sitting here listening to an audiobook. Your brain will be trying to filter all these different pieces of information to work out whether any of it is useful, whether any pieces are connected, if something needs to be remembered, and what to ignore, while at the same time trying to focus your attention on listening to me. Over the course of a day, your body burns around 2,000 kilocalories, averaging about 100 watts of power every hour. This is about the same amount as is needed to light an old-fashioned filament light bulb, or 10 new LED versions. When riding an exercise bike, you might peak at 200 or even 250 watts, unless, of course, you are a professional cyclist like 3-time Tour de France winner Chris Froome, who regularly exceeds 400 watts sustained over a 30-minute period. When asleep, your power consumption will drop to around 25 watts, and right now, while sitting listening to this audiobook, you are at around 50 watts, with roughly half being consumed by your brain. This means that you will need to eat around 500 kilocalories, roughly equal to 2 chocolate bars or 5 apples, to make it to the last chapter. You are about to turn food into knowledge. As I communicate with you through this audiobook, I hope to share some useful information. As I will try to show, the communication of information can increase our knowledge, which in turn provides us with more intelligence. Communication is critical for building intelligence, but the information that can help us may come along at any time. Often, we will need to store it away so that we can use it later.